Okay, let me explain how I do the additional menus with my tuxedo themes. I use a plugin called Max Mega Menu. It also has a paid version, which gives you some additional features like sticky menus and additional icons. But the free version will do the trick just fine. So in order for us to have um, additional menus or even substitute the themes menu, we need to use custom menus in WordPress. So for each menu that we're going to use, we have the option of theming it differently. So it's going to look differently and act differently to that matter. And also we can have a different name for the responsive buttons, and also we can have different responsive breakpoints as well. So let me jump in it and create and install the plugin. But before that, you're gonna see that this particular theme. Let me create a custom menu for it to begin with. Let's put the 2 pages available, and I'm gonna assign it to the primary menu, and that's it. Okay. So each theme that you use this plugin with, each theme actually has different uh, menus registered for it. This particular theme has two. Um, Tuxedo themes or Artisteer themes, by default, they have one. Until a few months back, you had to, with code, register um, any additional menus you wanted to, and I'm doing it with my themes. But with the Max Mega Menu plugin, without touching any code, you can register as many menus as you want. You can create them out of the box. So let me go and install the plugin. Okay, so in the general settings, you're going to get the click behavior. You have the mobile behavior, and also it's over here. It's going to show you all the registered menu locations. And right now, this particular theme has a primary menu and social links menu. Okay, and the primary menu, I already assigned it to the primary. And if you want to create more, if you want to register more menus, it's very simple. Just create one, and if you want to rename it, that's very easy too. Just call it another menu. And each menu that you create, you can display it with a PHP code. You can display it with a shortcode, or you can display it with a widget. And the widget is obviously in the widgets area. Max Mega Menu, that's what it is. So let's do things one thing at a time. So I'm gonna go change the theme now to my own. And the first thing that you're gonna notice is that um, programmatically I've already created additional theme locations. Um, the another menu, we just created it, but the theme comes with widget 1 menu, widget 2 menu, footer menu, and the theme made by Artisteer, we got the primary navigation. Okay. At this point, I don't need the another menu that I just created, so I'm gonna go really quickly and get rid of that location. And if I go back to the menus, you're going to see that that's not going to be available anymore. Okay. So the primary navigation is the primary menu that I themed it or configured it using Artisteer. I've got the footer menu that's hard coded. It's going to be in the footer, obviously, but you can use it. You can use the widget 1 and widget 2 areas and put it anywhere you want. Now, the way I prepared my Artisteer theme is that I have a position created over here, and that position it's called menu 2, and that's where I'm going to use the widget to display the second menu. Alright, so let me go and start creating those menus really quickly, and then we can start theming them. So I'm going to go to menus. I've got the primary. Let me create a second menu. Secondary. Let me create third one, footer. And if I want to, I can use the third one, the widget 2 menu, to put it in a page or anywhere else I want, and I can create some more. I can register some more menus if I wanted to. Now, I'm gonna go over here and assign each menu to what location they're gonna be assigned to. So the footer, I'm gonna say footer. Once I save it, this is going to be available. So I'm gonna enable the plugin to be assigned to this particular menu. Right now, all the themes are going to be the same. We're gonna create a different theme for each menu, so they're gonna have a different look and different functionality. Let me do the primary next. So I'm going to assign this to automatically add top levels and also primary navigation. Save that and now enable it. And the secondary menu to the widget 1 menu or widget 2, doesn't make a difference. I'm going to put it widget 1. Save it. As soon as I save it, this part is going to be available. So enable the Max Mega menu. Alright, so let me assign pages to each menu. Right now, the two menus, the second and the footer, have nothing. So let me assign the same pages, just to make things simple. So assign those two, save. Once I save, the Max Mega menu for each one is going to be available that I can use later on. I'm going to go to the secondary and do the same thing. I already have done that. So remove. There you go. So let me assign those two as well. Save it, and that's it. At this point, let me have a look how the page looks. Okay, so I've got the primary menu, and that's the default theme that we're going to change later on to match with the entire width of the menu, if you will. And that's the bottom part. That's the footer menu, and they're active and they work. Alright, and let me really quickly set the header menu, the secondary menu, and that, as I said before, will be done with the widget in the position that I had created in Artisteer. So I'm going to assign we're using the widget 1, say save, and we are ready to go. almost ready to go. I put it in the logo, didn't I? That's the problem. Yep, we went to the logo part, so bring it down to the menu tool widget area. There you go. All right, so the easiest thing, or the best choice of theming the primary menu is to make the navigation bar transparent. By making it transparent, it's going to take the blue color, but later on it's going to be helpful if I make it completely transparent. If I change the style, then I've got a different color, so I don't have to change the navigation bar color every single time. Let me show you. So if I go to the themes, and I'm gonna create different themes really quickly. So this is the default one that comes. I'm gonna quickly duplicate those themes. I'm gonna use it as a starting point. So let me call this primary, and I'm gonna come back in a second to start configuring them. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Call this secondary menu. It's going to make sense in a second once you see it working. And finally, I'm going to duplicate this one as well and call it footer. Okay. Now, before even continuing at this point, we have to assign each theme to the actual menu. So I'm going to go back really quickly into the menus, okay, and start assigning them. For the footer, instead of the default, I'm going to say footer. Those are the themes that I just make copies of the default theme. So I haven't changed anything yet. So I'm going to change the primary to primary. And I'm going to change the secondary to the secondary. Alright, so now each menu is assigned to a unique location, and each menu is has got the Max Mega menu enabled on it, and also assigned a different theme. So all I have to do now is go into the themes and start customizing them. Let me start with the primary. The first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to make this simple right now, I'm going to simply make the bar transparent. So let's go into menu themes. I'm going to load the primary, and in the menu bar all I have to do is change, make it transparent. I could change it to that same shade of blue, but that is not a very good idea, okay? Because if I go to customize and I've got additional styles, which I do in this case, style switcher, and if I get, let's say, I put a green, because it's transparent and not blue, I don't have to go into the theme, the menu theme, and change the color every single time I change the style sheet. Okay, if I go to orange, that's going to take the orange. So let me go back to default theme and exit. All right. So the second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the secondary menu and also make it transparent, and also for the footer as well. And also for the footer menu, I want to center it. Those are done very easily. So let's do them really quickly. Back to the themes, load up the secondary menu, change the menu bar menu background to transparent. You can also change the actual lots of stuff in there, the button colors, the hover colors, the size of the fonts, what fonts you're gonna be using. So it's very flexible, very powerful. and I'm doing all this without touching any code. Oh, for the footer menu, I forgot. I want to center it. I said so somewhere in here. Menu bar. There you go. Instead of on the left, I want it centered. All right. So it's invisible. So if I change the header to the custom headers, if I change the color, it's going to take the background color, just like the menus on top here. And I've done the same down here, but the menus are centered. Okay. So really quickly at this point, let me change um, the breakpoint for each menu. So let's say I want the responsive breakpoint for the primary menu to be at 1100 pixels, 800 pixels for the secondary menu, and let's say 600 pixels for the third one, for the footer menu. And that's done very easily too. So let me jump into the themes. Let me start with the primary, the very last tab. By the way, those tabs are collapsible, so you can collapse things, make things easier to find things. So if you go to the mobile menu, it's already 600. We can rename it. So let me do that. You can have different backgrounds and everything else. That was the primary menu. Let me double check. Yep, that was the primary menu. So let me change it to 1100. Let's call this main menu. I will check I've got it right this time. Yep, that's the primary. Save it. Load up the footer menu. Go all the way to the mobile section. 600. And I want to say footer menu. And for the secondary menu, go all the way at the bottom at the mobile section. Let's change this to 800 pixels. Let's call this second menu or header menu. Save it. Alright, so let's test. Let's check what's going to happen. So once I start resizing this, and over here you're going to see the resolution at 1100 or less than 1100 pixels. The main menu is going to change. It's going to say main menu. This stays the same, and below 800 pixels is going to kick in. There's the header menu. The second menu, the footer menu, the third menu, it's going to be the same, and it's going to kick in the responsive modes under 600 pixels. And there's a third one. So we can have different responsive button labels for them for each one, and also we can have different breakpoints for each one. Now, one thing that Max Mega Menu doesn't have a way to configure automatically is for the responsive screens to center things. So if it's assigned on the left side, it's going to stay like that. And in this case, as you can see, when the Artisteer theme jumps into the responsive mode, everything gets centered. That's the site name, that's a slogan, and that's the search bar. Everything is centered except the menu. So you need to manually create your CSS settings so that everything is going to be centered automatically. So like in this case, it's to the left. All the settings are the same. That's a bad page because the way I have it configured, let me see why I said that's a bad page or bad example, is because this page automatically, when it goes into a laptop mode, that means 1366 pixels or smaller, the header automatically is going to disappear. So let me load another page. Let's say the blog page. There you go. And once it goes into the responsive mode, the menus are centered now. It's not on the left side anymore, so it looks better. And if it goes below 800 pixels, you're gonna get the header menu. Okay. All right. So at this point, that's pretty much it. I have 3 menus. I can assign them different pages or different post categories or WooCommerce products, WooCommerce categories, or any. I can design the menus, the contents of the menus any way I want. The last thing I'm going to show is what actually you can do with the Max Mega menu as far as individual menus go. So for that, we're going to go into the menus, and let me start with the primary menu. So if I click, let's say, on the Mega menu, the first thing that you're going to notice is that you can assign each menu by default. It's a fly up menu. That's a regular menu. So fly up menu is, let's say I'm going to assign this as a sub menu. So fly up menu is a regular fly up menu. I can assign it to be a mega menu where I can have 3 levels. Okay, and you can assign how many columns you can have. So let me save that. Okay, so as a result, you can have something like this. No, that's a fly up menu. Something like this. Okay, and you can pretty much style the second menus and the second levels and third levels, so they look differently. And also you can assign widgets to each mega menu. So in this case, the login screen, I've got the login widget, and also I've got a text widget that displays a contact us form. In this example, you can put pretty much anything you want, from Google Maps to anything pretty much you can imagine. And finally, you can assign icons to each menu. Assigning an icon, it's very simple also. I'll go to the menu, click on the mega menu, go to the icons, assign something to it, save menu, and there it is. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It's another good thing that Max Mega Menu has is that if you spend a lot of time into the actual design of the theming of the menus, well, you know, the colors and the fonts and the different sizes, and you have the same theme into another website, you don't have to do the whole thing over again, because as you saw, it's got a lot of settings that you have to play with. Um, in the tools, there is an export and import feature, so I can export any of my themes, mega menu themes that I've created and export it, and then get that file, get the whole thing, and put it into the import part, and then import it. So you can very easily transfer your settings from one website to the other. That's about it. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know.